Oh! Mirror B has appeared. What's up there? On top of the lighthouse, it looks like there's a giant Pokeball moving about. I gotta snap out of it. I must be seeing things. This is what I get for not getting enough sleep. I feel you, madame. Alright, you know what? This might just be a good time to save. Get to catch this last Pokemon in a fresh recording session, and I can alleviate myself of anything that might distract me before going into this final showdown. Yeah, I figure you didn't need to see me walk all the way over here. Let's do it. I wonder if Mirby will have any Ludicolo left, or if he'll be completely taken over by hard modalitis. If nothing else, at least the Ludicolos are here in a little more than spirit. Dance spirit. What? Not you again. Our boss is busy dancing. Can't you see that? Oh, boss, the way you gyrate is the greatest. Shake, 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 shake it. I can't even complain. That's vanilla text. It's engraved into my soul. They say different things. What? You brat, you show up here. Why always mess with our plans to get all the Pokemon in the world? No thanks to you, we've lost more Pokemon than we've caught. What? Who are these people? They scared me so much I've been rooted to the spot. Well, here goes something. I want you. Want you. Huh? Stop the music. Let me wind down the music and take a look. Oh, there you are. You're that super annoying brat. It's all your fault that my shadow Pokemon is the last of its kind. But you did worse. You missed the dance for celebrating the future of the squad. Today of all days, you're not getting away with this. No, you'll never get away. Let the music play. One more Mirror Beam for the road. And leading off with the Shadow Pokemon. Specifically when they have the countermeasures for snagging in the back. Well, I guess Ellie, I mean, the Lugia was what I was going to use for chippering down the Shadow Pokemon in the first place, but... And Ellie is part flying. Do your thing. Ooh! Wait. Tribute. It might just be... Wow, that did dilly squat even for super effective damage. Well, at least I can hit the intended target with a single attack. I guess I was better off going for Shadow Madness after all. Sorry, Ellie. Sad you can do more, but... Right. It's... Rock isn't weak to ice, only ground. I feel like I at least get some quick neutral damage in for the road. But apparently not. Apparently I have to self as a new, not the anti-shadow move, or the case may be. I might have to dive into some healing items for this. And there's not really a reason not to, is there? Like, this is probably the last major battle in the game, unless I'm willing to spam some items on Mountain Battle. The problem is I don't know if Unlimited will outspeed a Ho-Ho. Also, not having the Pokemon that could get down to a low amount of health easy, that could be a problem too. Well, we got it to sleep. That was my first concern. So that is no longer an issue. This guy's kind of been sitting in here for way too long. Right? I'm a bit over leveled, but Ho-Ho can certainly take a hit. I think this will be decent for chip damage. And I shouldn't have to worry about getting hurt this turn because the only Pokemon out in the field is asleep. Yeah, that's decent chip damage. The issue is, when the Ho-Ho wakes up, I'm in trouble. But also, I want to catch. I only have one Shade Ball. But if I catch it before the Shade Ball, then I'll feel like the Shade Ball that I've been hoarding this entire game has gone to waste. You know, what was I thinking? I know Jump Fluff isn't the most prominent flying type of all flying types, but that should have still been in my equation. Oof. I need Funland for getting it asleep, so I guess I'll have to revive and get it to full health. This should still be decent chip damage to the Ho-Ho, and more importantly, won't have to worry about Jump Fluff anymore. All you gotta do is just not miss. Oh, that's barely even chip damage. All parts of my thought process are at least in agreement that the Ho-Ho's gotta go back to sleep before I attempt to throw a ball at it. The question is, how far do I want to go? You know, I could have probably put... Thinking more about it, I could have probably put an item on you in some shape and form. Sure. You know what? I could just use the potion to heal you back up to full, assuming you don't just get one shot. So that certainly is a concern. Like, we're all in agreement that if that Ho-Ho's Shadow move connects with Funlin, it doesn't matter if I have 90 HP or 180 HP. She's going down if the move connects. Are we all in agreement of this? Because that feels like a pretty obvious and safe bet. My best hope is that they'll go after Jolteon. Thank you for taking the hit, buddy! We salute your efforts! Alright. I think I'm gonna just throw the Shade Ball. Because I would love to get this thing lower on health. But this might be my last chance. I don't know if I'm gonna get another opportunity to put it to sleep. Here goes something. A 1, a 2. Well, it was worth the shot. At least I can clear out the field before the Politoed could do significant damage. I should really start reviving Pokemon up because I think I'm down to my final 2, and I'm pretty sure Mirror B still has a Pokemon left in the bank. Okay, at least he has one Ludicolo. It'd be kind of criminal if he didn't have any in this fight. Because out of everyone here, Lugia can take the Ho-Ho hits the best. And you know what? I'm gonna just go for the Drain Punch. Assuming I get a chance to go for the Drain Punch. Nope. I think I gotta just sit on my butt and wait another turn for the ho-ho. Wake up. Like, it's been asleep for a while. I feel like it's unfortunately inevitable that it's gonna be waking up soon. I kind of want to start actually playing into that. If I can predict it going for waking up and I don't get wiped by the shadow move, then this plan might be crazy enough to work. Because like if it does target me, then this wouldn't even matter because I get knocked out before I do an attack anyways. If it doesn't target me and it wakes up, oh right, I guess I should have taken the other Pokemon into the equation. Oh well. Now we're going for this again. Which, because it's not a level 1 Dunsparce, disguised as a level 60 Dunsparce, it'll actually do damage. Like, this would be neutral, but I'm not sure if that'll be too much. Guess just focus on... I should have brought more revives in hindsight. Sorry, there's an in-joke in one of the stream communities I'm in with how text-to-speech interprets that Pokemon's name, and I can't stop thinking about it to the point that I can't remember the actual way you're supposed to pronounce it. So let's just call for the Mirror Beast Pokemon until my brain rot has restored. Okay, well, you know, I was expecting that to do a bit more, you know. Shadow Pokemon, ultimate Shadow Pokemon in the universe. I'm kind of playing it by ear right now. I'm not really sure what the most optimal approach is. Like, that thing is to keep using Ice Beam. But not on Lugia? Are you, like, insane? Or are you just chipping it down to one-shot all my Pokemon? Maybe I should. Great, I'm already back down to 2. I don't know why freaking Luco was taking the hits so bad. But that is a really strong attack. This should work. Oh right, it's... Yeah, I'm kind of up against the corner. I should have bought more revives, but maybe it's for the best I didn't. Maybe this is the perfect amount of revives to... assure I don't just cheese the entire fight. Well, see you all for round 2, I guess. You know if I put Funland up in front, he's not gonna have the ho-ho, right? Yeah, there we go. It's just hiding in the back. Maybe that's for the best, because now I can focus on Mirror Beast's team. And it'll be a lot easier to get a 6v1 versus a ho-ho. In an ideal scenario. The true reality of the situation is it'll be more like a 1v1 or a 3v1 at best, but let me live a little. And actually I could probably like readjust my TMs a bit to better fit this occasion. Wow. Just miraculously living on 1 HP. No Focus Sash, no shenanigans. Just pure griff. How do you pronounce that word? You know what, I kind of picked a bad time not to have Talon Swift out here though. I mean, I guess if it was either the Lugia or Talon Swift, but man, Talon Swift would just obliterate this Lugia the more I think about it. Okay, if you could fake out the Pokemon I spent healing, that'd be great. Awesome! Completely wasted fake out. I don't think that term could have been more optimal if I tried. Right. It was just doing that much altogether. Okay, so healing was kind of pointless this turn. Well, I mean, at least I outlasted rain. This is a little bit of a shot in the dark, but here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna swap this Funlin, predicting... Oh man, I wish I knew how strong I was, because it'd be awesome if I could just, like, finish it off of a Hyper Voice, but I'm pretty sure it'll be pretty resilient with the Rock type. Okay? Thunderbolt is a safe option, but yeah. The plan would be to soak in the incoming Giga Drain, finish off the Almastar, and maybe he'll send out the Ho-Ho just in time for me to put it asleep. Possibly. If we really want to go with a big brain strat, assuming this everything else lands out, I could go for a Protect the following turn and block the Shadow move. But no, of course it decides to go for that instead. Having having a third of my team weak to water is really not working to my favor right about now. I kind of want to experiment. Ho-Ho is a pretty bulky Pokemon, so could it survive a quad weak Rock Slide? I am making a pretty huge assumption that he's even going to send out the Ho-Ho next. Case in point. Shadow Blast is not quite hitting as hard as I was hoping it would. Okay, you can survive an Ice Beam if you're full HP. That's actually really good to know. It sucks that it happened right before I went for the Wood Hammer, but that actually proves that I was wrong. It is worth my time. There is some merit to fully healing Funlin up. Maybe not for the Ho-Ho, but certainly for this thing. I'm just putting up a big neon sign that says, use Giga Drain on me, please, by sending Ellie out here. But, one, I think this is his last Pokemon. There's not really much else I can use Ellie for. Two, I have an idea. It's insane, but if it works out... Oh, I forgot I had like 3 Revival Herbs as well. I guess I am a bit better with Revives than I thought I was. I'm actually impressed it didn't go for the Giga Drain. Be more impressive if you can... I was asking a lot even without the crit. It's okay, Ellie. I was asking a whole lot, even with the crit. And I don't know how fast Flame Chop can be, but even if I can get one overheat off on this thing, that would help me out a ton. Oh, and a crit! Thank you, Flame Chop. Your service is well appreciated. I'm surprised Lilyko didn't just go for it. Of course. Well, good news. It didn't matter that Lilyko didn't go for you because that was inevitable. And that stupid Shadow Blast actually mattered. Because if I didn't just get dumb freeze luck right at the most inconvenient time, Lilyko would have been out of the picture. And I could just focus on whittling down and catching the Ho-Ho. Like that freeze luck couldn't have come at a more opportune time for him. Luckily, Swimmersby, your sacrifice won't be in vain, because thanks to you, I will be able to finish off, I think. I don't know if we ever actually seen Shadow Tribute actually happen to the non-Shadow Pokemon. Which is kind of problematic because my last non-shadow Pokemon is a Pokemon that is slower that I want to get a sleep off on. This is going to be tricky either way. I don't know what its accuracy is, but I do know it's inaccurate enough to miss. Might as well go for the Spore. I'm kind of regretting not getting any X items now. I have an X attack. I actually have a situation where I want to have an X item for, because if I have a few X speeds, I could just feed them to Funlin until she's faster than the Ho-Ho. Then I could just keep it asleep every single time. That's good to know if I need another attempt. It's honestly not that great, but I guess if anyone can take a hit, it would be congenerate. My hopes are just not that high. I was really hoping to just miss and we could just put it to sleep and be done with it. Yeah, like I thought though, I can't take a... Even at full health, I can't take a frickin' Shadow Tribute to the face. Oh, why not? If only just to have a little extra assurance in case things go wrong. That's decent chip at the very least. Ooh! And I just bought myself 2 more turns. Yes, I said 2. I can't believe I'm using tall... With this kind of stall tactics? Still, it's kind of wild this is what we're resorting to. You know what? Just screw it. Worst case scenario, it fails. Alright, this should get it down to pretty low health. That's just perfect. Wait, did I... Hold on. I just told myself that Shadow Madness exists. Why did I risk that? As much as it would be a waste not to use the Shade Ball. I really want to save it for the most opportune moment, considering I only have one. So... I should really wait to just let one of my other Pokemon get knocked out, but... what are the odds of Ho-Ho targeting Lugia? It feels like 0. Gonna say, I was debating whether or not to actually do a countdown for it. But I feel like we're gonna need this thing asleep before we even stand a chance. Like, I think we can all sure that if it does hit, then Lugia is a freaking cheat, or Ho-Ho is a freaking cheater. Cool. My ability to protect spam kinda got significantly less significant. I think I can live one more turn though, and honestly, 1 turn is all I need. Oh, it doesn't reset when you use an item. I forgot about that detail. Either way, kind of generous purpose has been fulfilled. We got it to sleep. Just gotta hope that the sleep turns will be all the time we need to pull this off. Yeah. Triple check to make sure I actually use Madness. Because if anything's gonna let us chip it down a little bit more, be that. And now, for our last Shade Ball. For real this time. One. Barely even 1 wiggle. That's unfortunate. I guess it's just gonna come to our own tuition. But more importantly, I need to consider Fun Lin. If only to get... in case I need to get a sleep again. Which I should probably get kind of generate up too, because that's like my one option to buy Funland enough time to actually put it to sleep. Alright. Timer ball number 1. Let's see how this goes. No, wait, didn't I throw a timer ball earlier? Who cares? The timelines are merging. Because we know it can take at least one hit. So I can hypothetically keep healing it off, but if it does stay asleep, then that gives me a prime opportunity to get Funlin back in here to put it back to sleep. Feels like we're going to be playing an incredibly elaborate juggling game. Just to assure that we can get this in one piece. Interesting, and honestly a little scary. Because I know now you're stupid enough to actually attack the Shadow Pokemon. Which means my strat... we have a flaw in the strategy. I'll feel kind of dumb if it does go after Funlin, but if it does decide to go after Funlin when there's a perfectly susceptible non-Shadow Pokemon out here, then I got bigger problems. Okay. So that's that. But now there's a 50-50 shot of it going after Funlin, and I don't know if there's really anything I can do to stop that. You know, I'm kind of starting to wonder if it'd be worth giving an Aura Filter to Funlin, because it's getting knocked out either way. So, like, the Poison Heal doesn't really mean anything. Just... oh! There's a nice juicy Jolteon right there! You all saw how many, like, Pokeballs we struggled through, even when it was asleep. What hope is there for any of us if it decides to, like, not do all that when it's not as... if we can't get back to sleep, what hope do we have? Why does it want to go after Lugia all of a sudden? For burn chip damage? I wonder. Nah, I can't just be targeting the first party slot every single time. Can it? I don't know, I'm thinking too much about this. Just can't think of a good way to get Funlin back out here without, like, intentionally letting a Pokemon faint. And the Shadow Pokemon can just keep using their Shadow moves to the end of time because they don't have power points. It did target Jolteon that time, so it's not exclusively going after a particular slot. Wait, 2? 3? Yeah, if I could just get it to sleep, we may finally be in the clear for Timer Ball stocks to go up. If this AI has anything going for it, it'll go after Congenerate again. It's at red health. It's burned. This should work in my favor. It's not even going for the super powerful move. It wants to guarantee a KO on Funlin. Whoa. I do got 2 more max revives, but this is my last normal revive. I don't know what else I can do besides just keep throwing Pokeballs. And with the way RNG works, eventually the rolls are going to click. If I can get a nice little sleep in the mix or that'd be cool too. Wow, that does so much damage every single time. I would just use Timer Balls because they're definitely more effective at this point. But I only got so many Timer Balls. I gotta make each one of them count. And if that means using my Ultra Balls now and saving the Timer Balls for when I somehow get it back to sleep, so be it. The problem is finding an opportunity to get Ho-Oh back to sleep. This bird is unpredictable. It's defied all logic I could come up with. But I don't know how I'm gonna be able to catch it without putting it back to sleep. It'll be funny if it even gets past 2 shakes. 1. Nope. 1. I don't know. There was a part of me that didn't think that we would be spending 20 minutes just trying to catch this one Pokemon because it's just one Shadow Pokemon. Even though I know it's freaking Ho-Oh. I'm gonna regret this. But I am running out of options. I'm either gonna run out of Pokeballs or run out of revives. And if either of those scenarios hit, then might as well be game over. 1. I'm not even getting any shakes anymore. It's gotta go to sleep. I just wish I had a Pokemon that could withstand more than 1 hit. That could put it to sleep. In my soul, I knew that would happen, but at the same time, who's to say if I swapped Congener out for it? This is quite a predicament I've gotten myself into. We're just moving along in an inevitable stalemate. Except I know that I'm on the weak end. Like, it feels like a stalemate, but I know I'm slowly losing. It's Award Nutrition. He's got a limited PP on that Shadow Tribute. I only have so many full restores. So it'll be a long and grueling, but there is a lose state. 1. Already down to like 2 full restores. Only 5 timer balls. Please give me a sign. Give me a light at the end of the tunnel. I know Green Pokemon Light is turned to darkness. But surely there's an answer. Tuno? I just realized, what happens if I crit? We've been having this back and forth exchange for so long that I didn't even consider that factor. As honestly kind of a miracle that it hasn't happened yet. 3 timer balls is not looking good, folks. 1. Not even a shake. Just in case, though. Just like throw whatever I got. Now. And save the rest of my good stuff for after it's asleep. What? 2 shakes? We actually got 2 shakes on the freaking nest ball. Not nest ball, net ball. Bit of a difference. God, why did I think it would anything else would occur? Funny luxury ball? We've thrown so many. We've thrown so many Pokeballs. In general. 3. Do I even try? What a flop. There's nothing more I can do once these timer balls are gone. 1. I'm not even getting humored with multiple shakes anymore. 1. I hate how we're not even getting shakes anymore. It's not like I haven't made a good effort to increase the odds as much as possible. Outside of putting it to sleep, I'm pretty sure that Ho-Oh's as low of HP as it can possibly get. The last timer ball. A 1? Oh, why even jinx it like that? Well, I guess there's nothing else we can do besides throw all of our Pokeballs until we're completely out of options. But if the timer balls aren't working, then I'm not really feeling too great about anything else that we hit. Oh, I almost just spammed the button into knocking it out. Maybe I should. Maybe I should just end my misery now. One. Nope. Almost an hour of this. What else can I do? I just want to see how much a Shadow Tribute does to Ellie. Why won't you humor me with knowing how much damage Ellie would take from the move? I just want to know if Ellie would be able to survive for future attempts. Because let's be real ourselves. There's no way... There's no way I'm not going to have to try this again. Finally! Okay, 3 cores of health. And that's with the Assault Vest instead of an Aurora filter. That's all I wanted to know. Sure, let's use the funny nest ball and not accidentally spam into Body Slam. Yeah. Don't know what you're expecting. It's got lower odds than everything else we've thrown at it. I guess the optimal thing would have been to full restore Ellie, but I don't even think I care anymore. I know I can heal off anything you do, but I also know that you can shake off any Pokeball I throw at you, and eventually I'll run out of potions. And yet I'm still trying nevertheless, even though all I got are stupid dinky Pokeballs that can't even hold you for a single shake. You know what? If you actually wanted to win, you know I can't win. All I need to do is one attack, and this fight could have been over eons ago. But I'm showing your Shadow Pokemon mercy by trying to befriend it instead of destroy it. And then it was the netball. 20 netballs. Do I have the patience to use 19 more netballs? I don't really know. I feel like this would be a more productive use of our time to knock it out and see the funny Mirror dialogue. Because surely he has something unique to say about knocking him out, but not snagging his shadow Pokemon. Nevertheless, I'm not giving up yet. A 1, a 2... God, the glimmer in my eye for the brief second when I saw that we made it past more than one shake. You know what? Let's just do it. Oh! Maybe I pushed my luck a little too far. Wow. It's really rubbing it in. But at what cost? Battling with you, I can't find the right groove at all! Oh, how dare you! I say, how dare you? But I still have the Shadow Ho-Ho with me. All I need is a little rest. When I feel chipper again, I'll show you who's the star with my elegant dance steps. Well, this is an hour. This one attempt. It's basically an hour recording session in of itself, and that's not including the fact that I pretty much snagged 2 other Shadow Pokemon in this same recording session. I'm calling it a night. I don't know if I'm going to do an outro. I'll decide that in editing. Now let's get this outro man out of the picture already. Hey! Back. It took a week or so, depending on how long it was between recording sessions. But I think I'm ready to try this again. And if you can't tell from the team, I got a new strat going in. I probably just need a minute to refresh myself on how it works. So I think the plan is to lead off with the A combo of Wobbuffet and Lugia and just obliterate anything that's not Shadow Pokemon with the cheesy I could have sworn that Wobbuffet had a move that prevented switching, but we'll see how this pans out. The original plan is to make all Pokemon faint after 3 turns. Actually, that might be a problem with Lugia. Maybe I'll leave Dunsparce. Set up a Shadow Terrain and maybe a Shadow Sky to just whittle away everything that's not a Ho-Ho and then focus the entire team around it. Couldn't tell half the issues the fact that I felt like my team wasn't defensively proper or defensively prepared enough to actually tank hits from that Shadow Ho-Ho. So this is what we're going with. Unfortunately, my best sleeper is, I was gonna say a grass type, but I guess that doesn't really matter when you're going up against Ho-Ho. So I decided to ditch the Toxic Orb and replace it with an Aurora Filter, because if I can just survive 1 hit, preferably 2, with Funland here, then I can actually get the Pokemon asleep, and making it asleep will make this whole fight a lot more manageable, if only because it'll increase the odds ever so more in my favor. And I guess the other 2 are here because I think, in case this Shadow Strat doesn't work, I believe Congener and Swimmer's Bee handled the majority of Mirror Bee's Pokemon that my Shadow team would struggle with. So I think I'm actually going to lead off with Dunsparce, just so I can swap away. I think the initial plan is just to abuse Serene Grace and have the Paralyzation for backup in case Breloom doesn't work out. Just a plan B to make it more susceptible to capture in general. So we could have some fun with Serene Grace and Headbutt spam, and I'm sure I could make use out of Helping Hand if I really wanted. Let's see how it goes. This is the one thing I want to get done in this recording session. It's already been going for way too long as is. You did worse. You messed up my dance for celebrating the future of this. Oh, that's right. Quote-unquote localization liberties. AKA the modder made changes to random names because they felt like it. That's the one part about XG I'll never fully get over, I suppose. It's been an issue to the bitter end. Is there an issue for either Pokemon on this team? Well, I guess if Dunsparce's gonna take that much damage, then yes. Yes, there is an issue. Well, that went about as well as I was hoping. I just realized this also means I have to swap my own Pokemon. But oh yeah, that's the whole thing. Wobbuffet's gimmick is Shadow Tag. That's why I thought this would work. Because I don't need Shadow Hold. Wobbuffet's a built-in Shadow Hold. So in hindsight, I probably could have stocked up on more revives. And another thing, I was hoping to get my hands some X defense to make tanking hits with Breloom easier while I put it to sleep. But I scrounged the land, searching far and wide, and could not find a single place that sold any X items. Which is kind of unfortunate on my end. Oh, I forgot that Shadow Terrain also heals the Shadow Pokemon. Guess I'll set up a Shadow Sky as well for good measures, because why not? Let's see how much this does after the Shadow Terrain and all that. Still a decent amount, but decently more wallable. This whole strat initially may not be as flawless as I thought, but I think we might be able to make it work. Alright, so... Right. Down to 1 on everyone, which means... I gotta swap out, well, even though it's not exactly a good time, I gotta swap everyone out. Otherwise, I'm kind of hit out luck. I think I'm just gonna heal. It doesn't really matter because everyone on the opposing side, is gonna faint after this turn if I've done my math correctly. And I'm not quite sure if I'm really sold on this whole Shadow Hold plan. It's a little less efficient than I was hoping. Also... yeah, I guess not as efficient as I was hoping, which is a good general term in general. At least we got that to work in the end, even if it was way too slow and would have been much faster to just knock out the Pokemon directly. Goodbye to you. It'd be a little tricky to get them out here because water types all have Ice Beam. Screw it, if I'm gonna swap around anyways, I think I'll do it again because like my alternative is just Breloom, but I feel like Breloom would just get Ice Beam. They don't really got a good option against the Swampert without Breloom. We'll have this as a backup, if nothing else. Okay, I just realized I wasn't paying enough attention until just now, but I did answer my own question of if Wildvet needs to be out here in order to keep the terrain going. Well, the answer is yes, by the way. Also, I just realized this does give me the perfect opportunity to get Funland in here before getting Ice Beam to the face. So I guess things worked out to my favor one way or another, even if they're not going exactly to plan. Be careful with Wood Hammer because I don't have the auto heal anymore. Let's see. So I'm gonna guess Swampert doesn't have Ice Beam, but I definitely recall Politoed having it. Okay, that hurts. But I can at least heal it off with Moo Moo Milks, assuming that's even what it wants to go for. The good news is that I took care of the bigger threat of the two, at least the one that I would need my physical attacker for, before I was thinking. I keep forgetting that Play Rough has that secondary effect. I never see it happen when I'm actually looking for it. The problem is when the Politoed goes for the Ice Beam, everything's gonna fall apart, but it's quad weak to grass. It's way too tempting. Oh, I almost forgot about the fact that Omastar could have an anti-Breloom option. Oof. Oh hey! Thanks for activating my poison heal for me. Now I just gotta make sure Funland survives, which I just realized I'm going for a recoil move, so that's not gonna happen. Welp. At least I got rid of the Omastar, which was the original intent from the start of this turn. And at least now I can get Jolteon in here easily enough and finish it off with a Thunderbolt or something. Somehow this battle is simultaneously going better and worse than before. I think it's really going to come down to when Ho-Ho comes out. Speaking of which, didn't even wait for the very end, I think. Pretty sure he still has one other Pokemon. Oh no, we're already down to the last Pokemon. Alright. It's down to half health. I'm pretty sure Politoed's pretty I was gonna say pretty good in special defense. Of course, just barely enough to survive the hit. Come on, Conjurer it. Thank goodness. Well, that's fine. I now know that I outspeed both the Pokemon. Oh, but it'll probably survive the hit now with that special defense boost. You know what? I'm just gonna protect. It feels like the obvious choice of a target. And I can probably do something next turn that'll allow me to better suit up. And I mean, hey, if you both want to target the Jolteon, that works even better for me. I think it's slightly more important for me that Politoed's out of the picture so I can just focus exclusively on chipping away the Ho-Ho and capturing it. Yeah, wow. That did significantly less than before. It's almost like that's the whole point of a life screen or something. On the bright side, this should finish it off. And now I can figure out who's worth reviving and how I'm gonna handle managing this Ho-Ho without wasting all my revives. Because that was the only reason that we failed last time. That and like running out of Pokeballs, but I think like if we could actually get it to sleep, if we could get stats in general, I think that part would go a bit more smoothly. So, you know what? Especially if I can get Breloom out here to put it to sleep. I don't know what else I'm going to do with this Dunsparce, so sure. I believe you have equipment to specifically make you a little more bulky. Come out here and take the inevitable hit. It's nice, especially nice since it went for the weaker of its two Shadow moves. Hypothetically, I could do that a couple more times and be good. Right, I did buy a few more Revival Herbs specifically for this fight. So, let's get Funland full in health. Then I can figure out if it's worth either sacking off Jolteon for a free switch into Breloom, or if I should keep Jolteon around and try to get Funland out here in some other way. Yeah, I really want to just go for the Glare, but I gotta hold off on that. Like, Sleep will make it much easier to catch, so if I can at all help it, I really should go for that instead. Yeah, like X defense, S speeds, stuff like that would be really helpful specifically for this fight. Yeah, that felt like it did barely anything, but I don't think it's, I don't know if, it looks like it doesn't look like it's at 1 HP quite yet. So, here's crossing my fingers that everything I did to make Breloom as bulky as possible pays off. That is not dead! And that's what we're striving for here. It'd be cool if I could, like... Wait, Wobbuffet. Is Shadow Sickness just a spread move, or can I target a Pokemon with it? Cause... I just came up with a crazy strat of getting Poison Heal without my Toxic Orb, and it's so crazy, I'm tempted to give it a go. But what I should do is that the best odds possible, I really should just throw this Shade Ball. And then, like, I need to dedicate one Pokemon to throwing Pokeballs, and I can do all my other shenanigans with the other team slot, I suppose. More importantly, let's see if all this is completely unnecessary because I catch it on the first ball. If anything's gonna catch it on the first ball, it'll be this. No, not even close. Oh man, we really are in this for the long haul, aren't we? Well, I guess I'll give you updates as this fight goes along, because there's no way I'm gonna leave all of this in. So this would be Pokeball number 2. Just for the editing side, not for commentary. Ball number 3. And of course it woke up. That's probably going to be the hardest part about this, rather than flat out paralyzing it. So if I could get myself poisoned, that'd be all the better, because then I don't gotta worry about the burn part about Shadow Tribute, and I can just keep healing it off with lemonades or something. Also, in case it isn't apparent, the whole reason I'm using Ultra Balls instead of Timer Balls is because Ho-Ho has been out here for so few turns. I don't know if the Timer Balls would be fully effective yet or not. The Ultra Balls aren't going to get any better, but there is a chance for the Timer Balls to do so. So I might as well use them up first. But the temptation to just go for Glare and avoid these shenanigans I got brewing in the background. Incredibly tempting, and not gonna lie. Speaking of using up my otherwise worthless Pokeballs. Shoot, I already lost count of what Pokeball I'm on. Oh well. I can count up in editing if I really care. I mean, it would have been funny if it worked. But at least now I can test. Okay, I can choose my target. That is actually a game changer. Alright, let's use this turn to figure out if the Ho-Ho's gonna keep going for Lugia, or if it sees Wobbuffet as an easier target, so it's gonna start attacking that Pokemon instead. Nope, it's still going for the Lugia. Well, I think I'm still gonna go for my strat, because if I can get my own Balloon Poison, that would be well worth it. I can't believe it took me this long to find the problem in this plan. Well, I'm too deep to back out now. Come on now, Funlin. Crossing my fingers. There is like a chance that I can miss. I really shouldn't have been banking on that, but... Please don't burn? Who am I kidding? I'm pretty sure it always burns. Yeah, unless I just want to really stall out items until it misses, which realistically it's not gonna happen. Wait. I'm a fool. If I would have just focused on putting it asleep, then there'd be plenty of time for me to poison myself. Man, I'm a fool. Oh, of course now you miss. That's fine. The only thing is that I'll need to remove my burn before I poison myself, and like I'd rather take advantage of the time that's asleep to throw Pokeballs than to get this stupid, insane poisoning myself with my own Pokemon move strat working. Let's just go for it. A 1. Not even one shake. But I guess that's just how the ordeal's gonna go down. And there's a small chance this might save me potions in the long run, depending on how long this battle goes for. Because I'll be healing myself on the turns that's asleep. So maybe, possibly, it'll save me 1 or 2 potions down the line. I'm starting to realize that I really should have stocked up on more Timer Balls, though. I'm just glad that we finally got our Poison Heal back. I really am between... This is just a penultimate of having my cake and eating it too. Awesome. I don't have that many power points, but I could be saving myself some time if I just go for Spore every turn. I think I have Lupa Berries. I should have plenty of options to restore Spore if it runs out of power points. Just feels a little wasteful regardless. I think it's safe to cut away for a while because I feel pretty confident at this point I'm just going to be alternating between throwing Pokeballs and using Spore every single turn until I run out of power points, where I'll just use one of my power point restoring items. So see you when I catch this stupid thing, if for some reason it's not now. Interesting choice of not going for your stronger Shadow. But this is exactly why I wanted to go for Spore for every turn. Because if I do this, then I might not even need to keep healing Breloom, because I'll be able to take one hit, heal off any damage I take while sleeping, and we're good to go. But first we gotta know if it gets caught in the funny Pokeball. I feel like we're gonna go through all of our Pokeballs eventually, so might as well get this out of the way now. You know, I just realized how many netballs we have. I'm probably gonna end up having to throw them eventually, so might as well do one now for the ha-ha funnies. Let's see. A 1. Nah. This is why I'm cutting out most of this. Already gone through this song and dance twice. Don't need to bore you all with it a third time. Two? Almost got my hopes up there. Well, here goes the last Ultra Ball. One, a 2, a 3. And I wish I had that strat set up the first time, because it would make the fact that this is going on for 40 minutes a lot less painful. Give me one sec. Ho-Ho was sent to the PC storage system. Figured that if I was going to be stuck here doing nothing but hitting buttons, that I might as well have my window open for some fresh air. So I guess it worked out. That Shadow Ho-Ho was Cyber's very last Shadow Pokemon. I don't even know if I'm in the mood to do a groove. You fool! That was the last Shadow Pokemon! There's only one thing to do now! Exit stage right. Let's go! Escape! Huh? Boss! Wait for us! And everyone else has to take the jog down the stairs. Huh? What is this? And my perfectly coiled afro do. I found this little device. I think that speaks for itself. Nothing appears on the mirror radar anymore. It appears to have broken. Oh, right. One more antidote used for the road. Man, this is gonna be a fun video to edit. Probably the most sarcastic way possible. Well, that does it. I guess we should take a look at the Shadow Pokemon before I bid you all do. So one more cut for the road. Alright, let's take a lookie at the last Shadow Pokemon of our adventure. Shadow Ho-Ho, holding a Sacred Ash, as it does. Level 50. Well, good thing Mirror B doesn't know how to switch, because that could have made this more annoying. Alright, it only knows 2 moves. I would know. I've been hit by both those moves for a very long period of time. If it had a 3rd move, I would know. Not as strong as I thought it would be. I didn't miss nearly as much as I was hoping for 85%. I am kind of curious what his other moves are when we whittle it down a bit, but don't know when we're going to use it, because battle-wise, the only things I can think of left to do are Mount Battle and attempt Ori Coliseum. Not gonna promise completing it, but I don't think I'm allowed to use Shadow Pokemon for that portion. And for Mount Battle, I would like to just go with the Purified team that we've been using for so much of our adventure already. I already feel kind of bad having them sit out the final Shadow Pokemon fight of the game. Oh, wasn't I saying that I'll sort all this out on my own time? Haven't I said like this video's gonna be way too long as is? So thank you all for tuning in for this edition of Pokemon XG Next Gen. Battle-wise, I think the next thing we'll do is finally complete Mount Battle, do those final 10 floors. Surely by doing literally everything else in the game, we'll have enough experience for it. That being said though, I did remember something that exists in the original XD that I completely ignored, that honestly I probably should have done at the very first episode of these post-game videos. Let me check to see if the Lucky Egg is still in this game. Until then though, take care. I don't trust myself recording, but I am not doing that again. So let's use the save state. To the file. This way I can just have my cake and eat it too once again. Don't have to save in case I need to re-record, which would suck with how the fight went. But at least if something happens and the recording is fine, then I can just revert to that save state.